Boosie Badazz, Boosie. I fuck with Boosie heavy, man. But this is a wild thing to say, especially because this guy is like, you're comparing it to one of the goats of all time. Boosie got a lot of backlash for this, and I agree. So let's play the clip of why Boosie got a lot of backlash.
Ain't nobody got more hits than r.kelly. You gonna have to put him at a Verzuz with Spotify. He would dog Michael Jackson. Ain't nobody else. I don't see r.kelly would smoke Michael Jackson in a Verzuz. Hit for hit, he would blow Michael Jackson, bro. r.kelly, bro. How many Michael Jackson songs you know, and how many r.kelly songs you know? How many Michael Jackson songs you know, and how many r.kelly songs you know? That will smoke Michael. Real talk. Ain't nobody got more hits than Kells, bro. Y'all don't want to keep it real because he in the position he in. But ain't nobody.
Boosie is saying nobody has as much hits as R. Kelly, and that people won't agree with it because of the position R. Kelly is in. You know what the whole charges. You ain't got to go into all that. You know what he's done. He's a weirdo. Let's just say that. Michael Jackson, on the other hand, has passed away. Can't really defend himself, but the catalog lives and is here. So Boosie's saying R. Kelly has more hits. You guys can't name a lot of Michael Jackson songs. Depends on your age. But I can name 90 million Michael Jackson songs. We are not alone. Hey, trust me, man. I can name 90 million Michael Jackson songs. Let's not even get into that. I'm fighting with the man in the mirror. So there's a lot of stuff, man. Don't get me into the Michael Jackson stuff. You know, Chris Tucker. I love the way you know what I'm saying. So you got to relax with that, Boosie. But let's go over it. Let's go over it and on the Billboard charts, and let's see who has more number one hits. Because Boosie's saying R. Kelly got more hits. Let's go over it. Let's check out who actually has the fucking hits. The numbers don't lie. In terms of fame, Michael Jackson is on a whole different level versus any other celebrity. Michael Jackson was known. Every single section of the planet Earth knew who he was. Also, I wanted, like, this is the best way to compare Michael Jackson's fame versus everybody else's. So there's Jesus Christ, which everybody on planet Earth knows. I'm damn near 100% sure on that. Then there's Michael Jackson, and that's it. Like, Michael Jackson is probably as known or is a little below Jesus Christ in terms of being known. That's wild. Like, think about that. All the humans that have passed this earth, Michael Jackson is probably right under Jesus Christ. Everybody else, there's a huge gap when it comes to artists. Because who could you name artist-wise that's even close to Michael Jackson? Who? You tell me. Madonna? Who? Elvis Presley? You know, Frank Sinatra? I don't know. You know, like, who could you name on that global scale that's at that level? Like, it's damn near impossible. Damn near impossible. In terms of artists, you know, there's other celebrities, obviously, in the world that are huge and famous, but not even just celebrities, like Mother Teresa, and there's a lot of different stuff. But let's go over the actual hits. Who had the hits? Who had more hits? So Billboard Hot 100 says this about R. Kelly's chart history. He has 2 number one hits, 13 top 10 hits, with a total of 55 songs charting on the Hot 100. Mind you, this is the 90s and early 2000s, so now a lot of artists have a lot of songs chart on there, but not really stay on there because of the streaming stuff. But he has 2 number one hits, and these are the 2 number one hits. Bump and Grind peaked at number one for 4 weeks in 1994. And I'm Your Angel with R. Kelly and Celine Dion peaked at number one in 1998 for 6 weeks. Other songs that are in the top 10, Ignition, I Believe I Can Fly, Step in the Name of Love, Hotel with Cassidy featuring R. Kelly, Fiesta, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Satisfy You, Diddy, R. Kelly, You Remind Me of Something, R. Kelly, Down Low, R. Kelly. That's about it for R. Kelly. Wonderful, Ja Rule, R. Kelly, Ashanti. And that's really it for the top 10 hits. So he's got 2 number one hits, and he's got 13 top 10 hits. So let's go over Michael Jackson's chart history here. because we're talking about their whole career overall. We're not just talking about a single moment, a single album. We're talking whole career. And Boosie done fucked up bad with this one, man. Fucked up real bad. Buddy, you done fucked up now, buddy. Okay, it took me a long time to find the numbers because Billboard does not show anything on Michael Jackson. I just searched it up. Nothing was popping up. But did some Googles, did the numbers. He has 13 number one hits compared to R. Kelly's 2 number one hits. So on Verzuz, you get 20 tracks you get to play. So he's literally got 13 number one hits. So if he just plays 11 of them, he'll basically win because they're number one hits. Everybody knows them. Number one hits, everybody knows. So that's number one hits only. R. Kelly has 2. Michael Jackson has 13. Let's go in the top 10 hits. How much does he have? He has 28 top 10 hits versus R. Kelly's 13 top 10 hits. That's a huge difference in numbers. Boosie, you are dead wrong. Nobody fainted and cried for R. Kelly. R. Kelly was good in his time, but obviously he ruined his whole career with everything that's going on right now, and people don't really care. Now, R. Kelly's pen game is, you could say, better than Michael Jackson's, because I don't know if Michael Jackson wrote a lot of his hits. He had a lot of help on a lot of them. R. Kelly, though, wrote Michael Jackson's, I believe, one of those tracks. He wrote the song that I was literally singing ahead of, You Are Not Alone. That's the song that he wrote. So that is a huge hit for Michael Jackson. I believe that went number 1. I could be wrong, but see? So R. Kelly's pen game, if we're talking just like pure creativity, maybe beats Michael Jackson's because Michael Jackson had a lot of help in terms of that aspect. But overall, as a package, Michael Jackson dances better, has better stage presence, more hits, more known, has been doing it a lot longer. R. Kelly is nowhere near that stratosphere. The only person that can compete with Michael Jackson, that's a great question. I don't know. You'd have to get Elvis Presley, bring him from the dead. I don't know. Somebody that's like on that level of pop stardom. Drake's got a lot of number one hits. Drake is up there when it comes to number one hits, but he's in the streaming era, so it's a little bit different. I don't know, but Michael Jackson is a whole different level. Although we talked about on the last podcast, Give It Your Die Trying, comparing to Thriller. Now, if we're talking sales, obviously Thriller washes it, but we're talking at a whole different time. We're talking in the 80s when there was no bootlegging. You literally had to buy the album or else you're not getting it nowhere. You're not getting it on the internet. You're not getting it on TV, nothing. So sales back then were obviously more prevalent. Now there's a lot of bootlegging, lots of streaming now. It's a whole different. But even in the early 2000s, dealing with a lot of bootlegging from Napster, LimeWire, all these other platforms. So it's different when it comes to sales. But hits, 50 had 3 number one hits on Give It Your Die Trying. Might be 2. 21 Questions in the Club, I knew 100% were number one hits. Many Men was in the top 5. A couple of others. But like I said, if they really pushed that album and decided, hey, let's put marketing dollars, like I said in the documentary, they said, hey, we're gonna put marketing dollars behind certain songs, but they're taking off on their own, so they didn't feel like wasting a lot more money. That's what they saw it as. But if 50 really wanted to, he could have pushed that album a lot more and had more hits off it, number ones. That's just, that's an album comparison. But if you're comparing careers, obviously Michael Jackson 50 washes every artist basically career-wise, because the guy sold like 1 billion records, I think. I think the number's like 800 million to almost 1 billion. They haven't calculated because at the time when Michael Jackson came out, they didn't do like sound scan and sales. They didn't track them, and then later in like the 80s, they started tracking them. I think in the early 90s, I think 1991 was when they started. But who knows? We don't know how many albums he sold like officially. So that is something that kind of goes against him, which is unfair. But, the estimate is anywhere from 800 to 1 billion records sold, which is insane. That's like, how much is Eminem sold? Let's just say it's 250 million Eminem sold. That's literally 4 M&Ms. 4 M&Ms. I got M&Ms actually right here in the actual podcast. So shout out to M&Ms. They're great. But yeah, Boosie's tripping. Boosie, relax. What you're saying, I know you like R. Kelly a lot. He's always a fan. He's like, man, I talked to him on the phone when he was locked up. He's a fan of him, huge fan. But Boosie, you know damn well, bro. You're older than me. You're older than a lot of us. To be saying that shit is just wild. I expect it from a 20-year-old like me, but I don't expect it from a fucking 40-year-old or late 30s. Y'all know Michael Jackson a lot more than we did. So, Boosie, you are tripping. Michael Jackson washes him. Numbers don't lie.